Hi everyone, welcome back. This is a new video to do with my son's Fiesta. It's a 1.4 duratec. We had a lot of issues with it running, and we seem to think that there's oil getting down into the spark plugs and cause an issue with the running. So we believe that's going to be the rocker cover gasket, and it's gone and it's leaking oil down into the barrels. So we're going to take a look at that now. So we're just going to start by taking the airbox off. Now we're going to take the leads out so we can clear them out of the way, and then make sure obviously when these are going back on that they got to go back on the right way, otherwise you will have a problem with running the car. But in order for us to get this rocker cover off, we need to take the switch off. So it's just a simple unplug and just move it out of the way so it don't get caught. Now we look at taking the cab out cover off, but what we're going to do, we're just going to take the few bolts off of the top. All we need to do is just be able to just pull it back slightly, so then we can pull the rocker cover out and away from it. Now we're going to start taking the bolts off of the actual rocker cover itself. So it's just going to get these and loosen them off and then spin them out. You'll find that these bolts, they won't fully come out, which is pretty good. So you shouldn't lose them or be able to pull them right out. They have got like a little sort of, it's like a ring inside that stops them from pulling out of the holes. So basically we just got to get them so they're all loose, and then hopefully the rocker cover will come off and the bolts will stay with it and we won't lose them anywhere. Now we need to get this little bracket off. There's a nut on the top, and then you remove the bracket, and then underneath is another small nut which is holding the corner of the rocker cover on. it's a little bit of fiddly work to try and get the cover off, because obviously those bolts keep dropping back down, and obviously you've got to get it past the cover, but eventually it does come off, and then now we can see the rockers and we can see inside and see what the problem is. So looking inside, we can see that the oil has been running down the side of the block itself and coming down and filling up the gaps inside, and you can see by the amount of oil that's inside there that the gasket's been gone and letting the oil come down, and you can see the problem of why we're having the running issues. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take the plugs out, clean all the plugs up. As you can see, they're caked in oil. We're going to clean all those up, and then we're going to get a cloth and try and soak up as much as we can, and just try and generally clean it all up, get around the edges, clean it up best we can, and put it all back together. So now we're going to put the rocker cover back on. Now we're going to do all the steps in reverse, starting off with the bolts that go onto the rocker cover. So we're going to just slide in behind where the cams are and get that cover back over the edge. Then we're going to start to look at the bolts. I'm just going to loosely screw them in for now, and then we're going to work around each one, and then we're going to start tightening them up. Now I know there's probably a pattern to this, the way you're supposed to do it, but the ways I was doing it was I was going from corner to corner and then coming in corner to corner, corner to corner, and then I was going to go around again the same way and tighten them up a little bit more. So sort of 3 stages of tightening them up. I know there's probably a torque setting for it. I haven't got that to hand, so I'm just going to do them to however I think is the right way of doing it tight. put the sensor back on. Click that back in, just a simple click in on this there. Make sure you got the breather pipe connected back on the front. And now we're going to put that bracket back on. So make sure the first nut is on in the corner and obviously tighten down. And then we're going to put the bracket on, and then we're going to put another nut on top, and then we're going to tighten that up as well. Now this is to hold the little plug at the back. This plug is broken. There's like a little grommet that pushes into the hole. It's broken on this one, so what I'm going to do in a bit is put cable tie around it and secure it on. So we're now going to start connecting the leads back in. We've put the plugs back in. Just make sure that obviously these leads go back on the same way. Best thing I done was I just took a picture of it just to make sure I had them the right way. Obviously you can probably tell by the length of the cable, the shortest one closest, then the next, and the next, and the next. But obviously it's just connecting them back up to the box. So once you've got those in, just make sure they're pressed down, because I think before when we've had it, if they've just been slightly up, it's also had an issue with running. So make sure they clip back down. I'll put that cable tie on now. Make sure it's nice and secure onto the bracket we bolted up earlier. Just cut the excess off, and then that should keep it nice and secure. So now we're going to put the air filter back on. It just goes on to those two black plastic lugs that we had at the back. It does sit on two rubber bits. This one's only got one because the plastic's broken off. You'll probably find that on your own if you got them. Do the two nuts up on the top, which they're not going to be very tight, and then the hose on the side, just put that back on. It's a little bit tricky because of the cover. If you've got the proper grips for it, it's a lot easier, but I haven't, so I just had to push it and use a screwdriver. Eventually got it on though, nice and secure. And then we've got the plastic breather on the right hand side. As you can see, the little black plastic bit's broke, so it's just sat in there. It doesn't cause an issue, so it's fine at the moment until my son gets a new one. Right, that's it for this video. Hope you've all enjoyed it. Something a little bit different on a different car, and also another learning curve for me. Got to learn a little bit from this one. Also, thank you to my son for giving me a hand with this one as well. Remember, like and subscribe. I will be getting some more videos out soon, and I'll see you all in the next one.